All right, some pretty big news. Donald Trump just got some really bad news from the Supreme Court. They have made a decision around Epstein that is, I'm sure, going to have reverberations around what information comes out. And we also have some news from a different court, a federal court, that Donald Trump's truly insane and quite possibly criminal action of sending American troops to Portland has been paused for now. Here's how Donald Trump has described Portland.
We're going to look at that. It was amazing. Portland is burning to the ground. It's insurrectionists all over the place. It's Antifa. And yet the politicians who are petrified. Look, the politicians are afraid for their lives. That's the only reason that they say, like, there's nothing happening.
Okay, so he said that, and then he also said this about Portland after the judge gave the ruling. All right, that's going to be incredibly hard to hear, so I'm just going to read it for you. I wasn't served well by the people who picked judges. I appointed the judge, and it goes like that. If he made that decision, by the way, the judge is not a man. The judge is a woman. Just a little dementia moment there. I appointed the judge, and it goes like that. If he made the decision, Portland is burning to the ground. All you have to do is look at the TV and read your newspapers. The judge ought to be ashamed of himself. Now, herself should be. Now, this is literally Portland yesterday. Does that look like a war zone? Does this look like Portland is ravaged? This is literally a news station webcam. Again, another live camera of the city, not in flames. Sleepy morning, nothing going on. Portland, it couldn't actually look more peaceful. There we go. Just people hanging out in Portland. No riots. Literally just kids doing kid things and family stuff in Portland. But to the President of the United States, he thinks this is a war-torn area. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Look at that. Just people hanging out at the market. Okay, now, Governor J.B. Pritzker gave us a warning that Donald Trump was ordering 400 members of the Texas National Guard, which, truly is insane. This is this insane thing that's happening because the judge blocked him. He's using Texas to circumvent that. Here's what Pritzker said, and I thought this is actually quite prescient. And I think in these moments, we have to actually slow down and really take in what is actually happening here, because this is not normal. I know that's said a lot, but the President of the United States is truly declaring war on its own citizens. That's what's happening here. And he's trying to normalize it so that eventually we don't care that he sends troops to any city for whatever reason. So we have to be loud about this now and continually be loud about it. Now, Pritzker says, this evening, President Trump is ordering 400 members of the Texas National Guard for deployments to Illinois, Oregon, and other locations within the United States. No officials from the federal government called me to directly discuss or coordinate. We must now start calling this what it is. And I like this. I think this is a very smart way to brand this. Trump's invasion. I'm going to start saying that. Trump's invasion. It started with federal agents. It will soon include deploying federalized members of the Illinois National Guard against our wishes. And it will now involve sending in another state's military troops. I call on Governor Abbott to immediately withdraw any support of this decision and refuse to coordinate. There is no reason a president should send military troops into a sovereign state without their knowledge, consent, or cooperation. The brave men and women who serve in our National Guards must not be used as political props. This is a moment where every American must speak up and help stop this madness. Wow, it's pretty incredible, right, to hear the governor of another state say that. Now, the reason why Trump is doing this is because the economy is not great. And we have Newsmax, believe it or not, saying that. But before we get to that, this is what Trump, you can tell this really triggered Trump because he went on a 2-minute tirade after Pritzker said that.
You say you're targeting the worst of the worst.
Number two, I really believe he's afraid for his life somehow. When you can have 40 or 50 people killed over the last couple of months, hundreds of people wounded, there's no place like that in the world. Hundreds of people wounded, 50, 55 people shot and killed. And Pritzker gets up and says, what a wonderful place it is. They need help. Washington, D.C. is now a safe place. You're not going to get mugged or hit. You're not going to get raped. You're not going to get anything. Washington, D.C. went from a hellhole to a safe place. I love the way you nod. Is it true, though? I mean, a lot of the people right here were mugged, reporters. And you know what? You're safe now. Nothing. We've had no crime.
I'm just going to fact check that as someone who lives in D.C. D.C. has high crime. What he's done has done nothing to change that. Has done nothing to change that. Just so you know. Like, D.C., at least my experience at D.C., before Trump sent in the troops, it was what it was. After, it's the same exact way. There's truly no difference.
12 days to solve the problem. 12 days. And we're going to do that in Chicago. We're going to do that in Portland. Now, Portland's different. That's a bunch of paid insurrectionists. But you have a lot of paid people in Chicago.
All right, so then he just goes on and lies there. So we're going to keep following this. Obviously, I mean, I don't know how we survive 4 years of him trying to do this. Eventually, I think he's either going to do it and defy a judge, or he's going to find a judge that approves it. So we're going to have to keep following it. It's I was actually thinking about like just going to Portland myself. I'm just seeing it with my own eyes. Okay. But here's like some big news. The Supreme Court has rejected the appeal from Ghislaine Maxwell. I'm going to tell you why this is important after I give you the news. The Supreme Court on Monday declined to hear an appeal of the criminal conviction of Ghislaine Maxwell. The court's actions ends Miss Maxwell's attempt to overturn her conviction, meaning her only chance of an early release from prison is likely to be clemency from President Trump, with whom she used to socialize. Miss Maxwell is currently serving a 20-year prison sentence after being convicted in 2021. As we know, federal prosecutors opposed her release, and although the crimes involved took place years ago and Mr. Epstein died in jail, the case has continued fascinating the public, obviously. So I'm telling you that this is probably the biggest news from the day, because Donald Trump wanted the Supreme Court to have to do this for him. She knows everything. She knows everything. She knows where the proverbial bodies are buried. Maybe not so proverbial. And I will tell you that this is not the last we hear about this. Donald Trump is going to be upset because the Supreme Court defied him. The Supreme Court was supposed to take the responsibility for this. Now the responsibility is on him again. And though he did move her into a lower security prison, I'm sure he promised her a lot more than that. And so now the ball is in Donald Trump's hands. And so, as it says there, and if she wants to get out of jail sooner, she's going to have to get Trump to do it. And I think we're going to be looking at a Trump pardon personally. But we'll keep watching this. And certainly the distraction is away from all of this, which is the fact that our economy is not doing well. But I'm sure Donald Trump would much rather be talking about this than what the Supreme Court just did.
Is not great. The jobs report was not great. This is yet another distraction from an overall economy that will.
Yeah. So the jobs report not great, economy not great. That's on Newsmax. That is not a left-wing publication. So there's a lot of chaos in America right now, but at least we can have a little bit of calm and consideration about it here. I'm so grateful that we had that together. And thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please hit like and subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Bye.